Episode 55. Let's go, boys.
What's up, everybody?
How we doing, guys?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Staying dry right now.
Somebody needs to do that. I like it. What's up, fam? No, we're not doing fam. That's for other podcasts that are way lamer than ours.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, we don't do that here. We're too good for that, Chase.
Am I on the wrong show? This is awkward.
I felt that way for a while, but we can get to that later.
I'm calling Molly.
Oh, we'll get to that later too. Don't worry, Chase. Don't worry.
Sore subject.
No, is it a source? No, you know what? Yeah, we're going to get to that. Anyway, Charlie, it's been about 6 months since we had you on. Thank you for coming back and hanging out with us.
Of course. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. For those who don't know, this is Charlie W. Because I can never, is it William or Williams? I can remember if there's an S there.
Whatever one you want.
Perfect. So it's Charlie Williams and of GrayRiderShedTesting.com.
Perfect.
And, we have him on and we get like a medium amount of views every time. So it's been a nice little boost occasionally to bring you on, Charlie.
I'm glad I could be your whore.
Yeah, I was going to say, thanks for letting us use you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You're the cheapest whore I've ever interacted with. Not that I've interacted with a bunch, but Yeah. Since I'm speaking to an officer of the law, I probably shouldn't confess to anything. So it's fine.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Legally he has to tell you if he's a cop. So
those are the rules, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's the rule.
That's the rule.
I miss the 1980s cop rules where they also all knew what the good cocaine tasted like. Like everyone could test it. Like, yeah.
Wait, you're not supposed to do that?
I feel like one of the first conversations I ever had with Charlie, I was like, so when you're out on like a sting and they make you do cocaine, like what happens there? I don't know why we always go there, but that just seems like Charlie's like, oh, I just do it and go. I'm just kidding, guys. He did not say that. He did that. There's a lot of rules apparently to doing coke if you're a cop, and it sounds way too much effort. So either don't do coke or don't be a cop. Just don't do both. Yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and just do it. Chase, best and worst of the week.
Man, no worst of the week. I had a great run today after the feed, even in the rain, and then so we hired a new employee.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Did you?
We did.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
And I'm excited about the employee because
I'm sure you are.
Little sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you have two little sisters? How many?
Oh, if only I had two little sisters, but I took the only one.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's so weird, right? Like we used to think loyalty and dedication and honor were a thing, and it turns out
Molly has none of that.
None whatsoever. Kids, don't do drugs, especially Molly. Anyway, so that's your best of the week, Chase. I'm so happy for you.
Patrick, what's your best and worst of the week?
You know what? There's been no best. There's been no best whatsoever. What is my worst? You know what? Actually, I take that back. The best was you getting a new employee because I learned where I stand in life.
Oh.
Anyway, guys, spoiler alert. Molly abandoned me and Aura and went and joined Team Canova because, the Imperial Army needed more people. So it's
Our
good.
group chat keeps getting smaller and it's making me nervous.
I found out the other day you can't remove people from group chats. I don't know why I learned that, but I learned it the other day.
Then I have a feeling I'm out of the group chat and there's a real small 3-person one somewhere that I'm not involved in.
You know what, Chase? I can comfortably say I haven't tried to remove you yet. We'll see how you play your cards over the next couple of weeks. You're safe, though. You're safe.
A lot of browsing.
It's going to take some effort. It's fine.
Yeah, why can't you remove somebody from a group chat? I do it all the time.
On your cell phone?
Yeah. Is everybody on iPhones?
No.
I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, it won't let me bump anybody out. I definitely made an effort because I thought it was going to be really funny. Maybe. And then I couldn't have the show. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can if they all use iPhones. Well, somebody in our group is a poor, apparently, and they don't have an iPhone. So I don't know which one it is, to be honest, but anyway, yeah.
Is it you?
No, I'm not a poor. See, yeah. Yeah. So Molly abandoned me. You know, I was discussing this with someone the other day, and what I feel like right now is, you know, I just went through a divorce. Fortunately, not a messy one, but a divorce, and you know, I thought I got the child in the divorce, and then it turns out some
She emancipated herself.
Yeah, some rich benefactor came in and adopted my child out from underneath
That's what
me.
it is. We're actually getting to film Annie.
Yeah,
Canova.
yeah. Daddy Warbucks came in and adopted little orphan Annie, and you know, it's the way it goes. It's the way it goes.
He was living like a schlep working for that other guy.
Yeah. Apparently, I mean,
tomorrow is only a ball python away, right? Like
that's how it works, you know. It's okay. I'll hold fondly all of those conversations of the future that we were going to have together and all of our plans and how great things were going to be. And
we both know she's watching this and probably crying already. So,
you know what, Chase? Decisions were made. This is a little bit of penance, right? Just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. I told her this was coming. Anyway, legitimately though, I am happy for her. I think it's going to be a good opportunity.
Not what you told me at all.
Shut up, Charlie. Shut up. I'm happy for her. I wish things had happened a little differently, but I am very happy for her. I think that it's going to be a good opportunity. And yeah, I'm excited to hear how things go. I'm still not going to watch y'all's YouTube videos because, you know, now it's a protest situation.
I gotta be honest, I don't watch them myself.
Yeah, and now that your sister's doing it, honestly, like, I've seen Chimera's videos. Y'all made a questionable decision there.
She's gonna ASMR ball pythons. Just
yes.
Slow breakdown of the Pompeii every time.
Yes. Anyway, all right, moving on. Molly, we're happy for you. We're gonna miss you. So Charlie, best and worst of the week, my man.
Best of the week and worst of the week is it's my son's 4th birthday today. It's the
okay.
It's fun. You know, we just got home from dinner a little while ago, and worst of the week is that we're having people over on Saturday, and my wife thinks the Pope's coming over, and everything has to be perfect. And yeah, so that's the worst.
Good thing she doesn't watch this, right?
No, yeah. I don't even know if she knows how to find anything on YouTube.
I sent her a link, actually. This is awkward.
And if
I'm
not,
just
we
kidding,
are now.
babe. I'm so happy that every blade of grass is perfect.
This
that's
like
good.
It has to look like Disney on Ice in 30 minutes.
I love that so much. That's fantastic. Yeah,
there's good week. A lot of good DNA stuff happening here, and
yeah. Do you want to dive straight into that, or do you want to like a little foreplay first, and then we can go into it? What do you want?
Whatever you want. You could tickle me a little bit.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah. So you've got some new tests.
Yeah.
We're just gonna dive right in.
I was gonna say, Patrick, we know you're the kind of person that goes straight to the action. You're not.
Do what you got to do, my man. Look, you got about 45 seconds of glory here. You decide how it's going to be spent. All right.
So, been working on it for a while now. The zebra test is finally done and validated.
Yeah. The
hardest part about it was validating because there's not a lot of breeders working with it. So to get samples from a bunch of different breeders took a little while.
Yeah.
I didn't want to validate just with 1 or 2 guys sending me a bunch of stuff from their collections. So that was taking the most time. You know, I feel like I've had it for a while, but I didn't want to, do anything without actually knowing that it was going to work for all zebras.
It's been really tough telling so many people like, hey, it's out there, but don't tell anybody. It's been hard for me. So thank you.
Good. There you go.
No, that's exciting, man. And it's good. I love the way you validated it. And I think, we've talked a lot about it. And I think that was the smart way to go about it was let's not validate with just a bunch of stuff in one collection, right? Let's do our very best to go through and find a bunch of animals that have been through a bunch of collections and see how things test out so that we don't run into this situation where you just happen to hit a marker that is, tied to one person specifically's collection or something like that. So
Yeah.
So zebra's good.
Yeah.
The question that everybody wants to know.
Yes, it is not the same. It is not testing the same as Mackenzie.
Perfect.
So I've tested multiple Mackenzies, super Mackenzies from multiple breeders, and none of them test positive for zebra.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm stoked about that, honestly.
But like I've told you, Patrick, even like the caveat is that now I want to start collecting super Mackenzie sheds to start trying to locate where that is, and just to see if it is something that it could be allelic or if it's close by.
So fortunately, though, now that you have a target for zebra, realistically, we can just run through some Sanger sequencing samples on the Mackenzies you have, and
that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
I'm going to spread it. I'll open it up. I'll go upstream, downstream, and just see if we hit it close. If it's on the same gene, anything like that. That I could definitely do, sooner than getting, whole sequencing done. So
for sure,
let's start messing with that, and then we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had anybody give me definitive proof that they are allelic or anything like that.
I know there's some people that say they have it, and I'm not questioning that, but I question everything, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing test results on some of that stuff, and then realistically, if they are, if they are the quote unquote same thing, more or less, you're probably going to find them pretty quick on that gene. And if not, like we'll, enough Mackenzie tests, we'll figure out if it's on the same chromosome. And, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. So Will asked about Striker and Jag. Are there rumors that Striker and Jag are Mackenzie or zebra? Because they are not at all.
I have somebody. I'm the worst. I'm sorry if whoever's sent me them is watching, but I have. They were from a while ago. Somebody sent me strikers to test for something else.
Okay.
I have no freaking clue where they are.
Yes, zebra and Jag are very, 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 very different. Yeah.
What about Striker? I don't even know if I've ever seen one.
I've never heard of Striker. So
I think we have one floating around the room somewhere.
Okay.
We just
I've never heard.
It's a girl sitting there somewhere,
Sure. I've never heard of Striker, so I don't know. But Jaguar, I mean, we work with that. We work with zebra and Jag very extensively, and they do very, very different things. I would almost say Jag is closer to inchy than anything else, to be honest. Like, it does.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's not inchy, right? It's better, but like,
way better.
Yeah, but it has similar vibes of reduction and how it interacts, and even
Jaguar, what's that? Is not a recessive, is it?
No.
Is there a super form?
I've heard rumors. I've never seen one.
We've got like a POS super Jag. We've got a couple girls gravid that we should be able to have definitive answers.
Cool.
I'm excited about that.
Somebody, when we were at the AARPE this week, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, somebody mentioned that they had pictures or had seen Super Jaguar stuff, and I was just like, okay, like sometimes that stuff, it's like people see what they want to see, and I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I haven't seen one, and I would have expected by now to see one if they were like very obvious, like, oh yeah, that's a super. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Time will tell.
I mean, it kind of can be along the same lines as like Super Leopard, where like, technically it's super, but it doesn't really show.
Yeah, for sure. So we have zebra now. That's exciting. I'm glad I can trust all of my zebra results that we've been getting from you. So that makes me happy. It's good. So that's fantastic. That's going to make a lot of effort. I have felt for a long time, and I still feel this way. I don't think zebra is truly recessive. I think it's incomplete dominant, but
here we go.
No, it's okay. I understand why we need a test though, because sometimes it is subtle. And
I was going to say, is it going to be a test that I'm going to get a lot of sheds in? Because I think
you will.
Like it's super visual for the most part. At least a lot of the stuff we've had, like het wise, even it's so visual.
It's very obvious. But here's what I will say about it, and I think that this is an industry thing, because it's considered a recessive. If you breed a het zebra to anything, people are going to call it a pos het, even if it is the most visually obvious, and you will not get full value. So I think just because of how the industry looks at stuff, you're going to have to test them if it's coming from a het, which is fine. Honestly, I feel very similar with Monsoon, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Mhm.
Monsoon also, it's pretty obvious when an animal is het Monsoon. So I think Monsoon is another one where I don't actually think it's a recessive, but as an industry, we call it that. And so it's going to be the same thing, right? That the test is going to be essential. And there's so much value that's added by knowing if it's het or not that you just kind of have to. So I don't think it's limited to those two either. Paint. Honestly, lace is going to be another gene that people are going to be testing a lot once the test is out.
Yeah.
You get some really good high quality lace animals that you're like, no question, this is lace. And then you get some borderline ones. And unless it's a breeder that's willing to let a borderline one go as not lace, there's a lot of animals that get sold as lace that aren't lace. And that, it hurts the project and it's frustrating. And I don't think people are always maliciously doing it. I think they were like, no, I believe this is lace. And so I think that's where some of the testing is going to help, is where you have these genes that are what's really adding a lot of value to the animal.
Mm-hmm.
Testing them, especially on like a whole clutch. Like, we just hatched out a clutch where I was like, man, I wish there was a lace test, because I would just test the whole thing, and that way, we'd have a better idea. But as it stands now, we're like,
is out for sequencing, and I just got a bunch of emails, so I'm thinking I'll probably have data back by the mid next week on lace. Same with paint.
Oh, that's awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, obviously, depending on how things go, it could be a couple weeks, it could be a couple months, but
perfect. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I got some paint sheds to send you then. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. So next test we're going to talk about. We're just jumping right in again. Monsoon. So we've been talking about that. You and I specifically have been talking about it for. I feel like it feels like that. If not 6 months, a year, man. And I know we thought we had found it previously, and sort of, kinda, but not really.
Yeah, no, it definitely, like, the first like 3, I feel like I had were like super, like, depressing after I realized they were not it, because it called so many correctly, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get a bunch of them that nope. And it's weird. Like, I guess that's how markers work. Cause like, some sheds I have that are known het or known visual Monsoons were getting called properly on like 3 different markers I had.
Yeah.
And other ones that I've had, like Amore, for instance. So we could get into that. I'm pretty confident in saying that Moray is the same as Monsoon at this point. But Moray was one that never got called properly on any of the previous tests I've come up with for Monsoon.
Yeah.
But this current one I have right now, it is.
Perfect.
And sheds that I know are 100% het Monsoon, that were the ones that were coming back negative. So I'm like calling breeders up, like, you sure this is 100% het Monsoon? He's like, I am 1,000%. That is that. It came from a visual. Okay. Those ones are all coming back het on this test. So, I'm very, very confident in what we have right now.
Good.
I've run probably 50 known hets, visuals, negatives, and it's 100% right now.
Yeah. So that's fantastic to hear. I think the marker thing is really interesting, and this is goes back to why with the zebra we talked about pulling from bunches of collections, right? So you're right. The markers, they definitely can just get bred in. Essentially, it's honestly kind of what happened with DG, right? We had DGA, DGB, DGC, and DGA and B were markers, and they travel relatively frequently because of how we bred the animals, and picking for the best looking animals and stuff like that. In Monsoon and zebra, whatever, all these other genes, you're going to have those markers as well. It's just a biomarker. So, I know I have felt comfortable with the Monsoon test now for, probably a month or two after you and I have talked and done stuff and all that. But annoyingly, Charlie keeps trying to validate, which is fine, I guess.
So the problem, too, we had for a long time. So this gene that I'm pretty sure it is like one of the, I think it was the first location that was on my variant sheet that I got back from my informatician that I was like, I like this. Let's go with this. Could never get primers to work. So we kind of moved on from it. And we found other things that were like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Look at this gene. It looks what it does here. Look what it does there. This has got to be it. And then we're just chasing it, nothing. And then months go by and I'm like, I don't think I ever got primers to work for that initial one I was looking at. And so Heather from Canada, she made up me new primers for it. So she's like, let me try. So she did. They didn't work great. I would get a handful back from Sanger sequencing that I was able to somewhat read. Other ones just looked horrible. But the ones that I could read worked. And I'm like, okay. But it was just not good enough for me to continue on, like just millions of them, knowing that they're going to come back. So then I talked to Ben at RGI, and he tried to make me some too. And they didn't work. And then so I have this new technology I'm using, and the company makes primers for me for allele-specific PCR. And for people that don't know, that is basically just, it's looking for that specific SNP, that specific nucleotide that's switching. And they tried to make it for me, and it was working. And I ran a lot of tests on it, and I was able to call things properly because they were known. So I'm able to look at my charts and say, okay, it's working. But not working good enough for me to take your sheds and give you confident results on. So I talked to Ben, and Ben had sent me the ball python sequence around this location. So I sent that to the company, and they redesigned the primers using the ball python genome, and these ones work perfectly.
Perfect. So real fast, just for those who don't know,
right?
When Charlie says primers are essentially just 20 to 30 nucleotide or DNA piece strands that are used to amplify a specific region of DNA. So like what can happen is you can have genes that are very messy with the nucleotides, which are little letters that make up DNA. And sometimes it's hard to make a sequence that will match, or a primer that'll match up to portions of that gene. And so you don't amplify that gene very well. And that, as Charlie was saying, was an issue constantly throughout this. The company that's helping now, they essentially have a supercomputer program that runs through billions of iterations of these combinations of letters to get what is, quote unquote, the optimal and perfect match that should work. But as Charlie found out, you have to have really good source material to have it work really well. So originally, all of our work was done with the Burmese Python because that's what's readily available. It's about 95% similar to the ball python, but that 5% makes a big difference.
Right. And I compared it too before I sent it out to this company. And even just me looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, there's differences here. So I sent it to him, and they're like, oh no, yeah, this is the reason why you're not amplifying this certain part, because it is different.
Yeah.
So I sent Ben, RGI knows about it. They're going to start validating. He ordered primers. Europe and Canada, if they get their hands on sheds, they'll be validating Monsoon as well. So we're pretty confident we have it. But again, this is, especially this gene, I'd rather give it another, good run of validation tests before we come out with anything.
Yeah. So let me, and you may not want to answer this specifically. Let's say you're validating, right? You'll validate hundreds of samples like you've been doing, and you get, some misses, not a ton, but a couple, right? And it turns out that, and you verify the misses, and the test actually is missing, right? And it's like 99% accurate. Are you going to be willing to release that to the public and just letting people know, like, hey,
1,000%. There's no way.
Okay.
If I get one miss, it's either not going out, or if it's one miss out of 500, then I'll let the public decide.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. I think that's good. I think for me, especially with tests that like we feel like might be biomarkers or like really close, like I think it's okay to I think it's okay to sell the test or offer the test. I think there needs to be like, it needs to be very clear in like the order, right? Or like whatever, like when the test is listed, like, the actual accuracy percentage that you found it to be, just so people have an idea. Because honestly, like, if you told me, hey, Patrick, like, we ran this and it's like 98% accurate, I'm probably still using it and I'm still going to sell it, and I'm going to let people know when I sell it, like, this is what it tested at. This is the odds. It has markers, blah, 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 whatever. But like, it's not 100%. So anyway, cool. Yeah, man, that's exciting.
This one, so every time, like, I work a lot with Europe, Jurgen from Pro Herper and Heather Roth from Canada, and we like to, we do try our hardest to get the casual mutation. So a lot of the time we spend is researching the genes that these mutations are on, and if it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, then it's almost like, all right, we'll try.
Let's move on.
Let's move on a little bit. See what's something that actually makes sense. And this one, so the two that we really thought made perfect sense surround this one.
Oh, right.
So it's like it's either like an unbelievably amazing marker or it's it.
So real fast too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna mansplain a little bit as we go through. When Charlie talks the causal mutation, we're talking the actual mutation that's responsible for the change, not like a biomarker. So, and when you look at the genes, right, we can go and look at genes, and based on what that gene does in other species, we can determine what the actual protein function is, right? So, like, I'm assuming the gene that you looked at, Charlie, does something to coat pattern or some form of pattern or melanin mutation in another species. And so when you look at that and you're like, oh, well, this causes this same gene when mutated in cats causes it to have a funky pattern. You're like, well, okay, that seems about right. Versus like, so this gene alters blood cell shape. That doesn't seem right. So yeah, I think that's it's a great tool.
And that's how like all of these have been. Like everything we did now recently, we were be able to trace it back to another animal.
Right. Which makes sense, right? Like that's one of the nice things about kind of DNA in general, like most of us all have the gene itself in most living organisms is very similar. It's the code to make that gene that's different. So if you look at a protein in humans and then look at a protein in mice, it's pretty similar actually a lot of times. Slight differences, and those slight differences make a big difference, but slight differences. And so it makes it nice when we're looking, at new species and you can get, relative homology and figure out what's going on. Mission Morphs asked, does finding the location also tell if it's codom or recessive? No. The codom or recessive is entirely based on the visual phenotype of the animal, not the genotype. So genotype referring to the actual DNA code, phenotype referring to the visuality of the animal.
Are there any like in humans, are there any recessive traits that show visually in the heterozygous form?
No, because it wouldn't be recessive then.
Right. So that,
human genetics is a lot more strict than snake genetics in that,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I would compare it to that. If they're not saying like, hey, you're het for, blue eyes or whatever, and you have a tint of blue in one of your eyes. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So Python Prince.
Heads, like my beard will turn red in the summertime.
I have a red beard too. I wonder if I'm het for red.
You're het for red?
My
Maybe.
dad's a redhead, and then but my beard in the summertime will turn red.
I love it. Let's see here. So gene mutation across species is still similar enough to bring back to a common theory. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes there are certain things where it's vastly different, and that gets into a whole nother level of molecular biology that no one here wants to sit through as I talk for 45 minutes about. So, but yeah, for the most part, a lot of eukaryotic organisms, there's a lot of similarity. We're genetically speaking, we're not as different as we'd like to believe we are. You're pretty similar to a banana, unfortunately. Sorry, guys.
I'm pretty special.
I'm so special. Blue eyes is that way, right? Because you need to be het blue to have green. I'm going to be honest, man. I've heard that for a long time. I also feel like I remember learning genetics class that blue eyes is actually linked to like 37 different genes. But I don't remember. So I'm not going to lie. Just Google it.
The
Just
human
not,
genome's so much more complex. Like, this is why we do ball pythons.
Dude.
This is
Dude, it's well, and you can go layers to where the human genome itself is very complex. But then what people don't fully realize is like the way proteins are generated from your genome, there's actually multiple different shifts that you can go through. And so whether you're reading on the A, B, or C track determines on what proteins can actually get made. And that's a whole nother realm that like viruses take advantage of, where they can have a string of DNA that if read one way gives them one protein. And then if it's read one nucleotide over, which is called a frame shift, it creates a completely different, and then one more over, it's completely different. Dude,
if
science
only we
is...
could have Watson and Crick on to give us a full demo lesson for the crowd.
Yeah, if only. Good times. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, so all exciting news. This is going to be a win all around. When can people start ordering zebra shit, Charlie?
After we get off the I could do
Okay.
it right now, actually.
All right, let's go, guys. So at 11
yeah.
o'clock.
Guys, right now, if you order right this second, all zebra tests are free for the next 13 seconds. But
Right,
the
'cause
order
it's
has to be in. Yeah, the order has to be in within the next 13 seconds.
Use code Patrick's Paying.
Yes. Use code Don't Do Drugs.
Give your credit card
Don't be
information
Molly.
now.
Don't do Molly. Use that. Use code Molly. Justin will pay for it.
Oh, thank you, Ashley.
Yeah, Ashley, here we go. Show. Thank you so much, Ashley. Appreciate all the goes. Can't wait for more tests to be well. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Genetic testing really does make it makes things a lot better for the industry when we have good, accurate tests that actually like can help us ID animals. You're not hoping and praying as much anymore, right? Even animals that we're hatching out now, where you're mildly confident on things like yellow belly, right? It used to be we would just be like, yeah, it's probably yellow belly, go for it. But then you do sometimes, unfortunately, run issues where people like do pairings and they end up with ivories, and then they can't tell what they have, and it becomes a whole thing. And so now it's like questionable animals, just toss it, just go and shed test it and see what happens, you know? And it just makes things easier. And a lot of times it does add value to those animals. So it's a win all around. So yeah, I love it.
Shed testing is such a small price to pay for all the time and money you save in the long run.
Absolutely.
Like,
that's not even a question.
Animals up anymore. Like, it's just, we know.
I think the one negative that I continually hear, and I don't disagree with, but I also think it's inevitable. So here we are. It speeds everything up, right? It just speeds everything up. And I think we've seen that in the industry over the past 2 years. It's just, if you look at what pairings were 3 years ago and look at them today, it is shocking. Like, truly is shocking.
Yeah, we had our own Operation Warp Speed. It was right here in the ball python community.
Yes, we did. So, yeah. And then Monsoon still validating, assuming everything goes the way it is. I assume within the next month or two, Charlie. Is that fair?
Before that.
Well, I'm trying to give you some leeway, bud. Just say yes.
Yes, a month or two.
There you go. Charlie, over promise, under deliver. That's what we're trying to avoid
Always
here,
take
okay?
the cushion.
Yeah, take the cushion. It's fine. It's fine.
MJ test. Yeah, MJ's going out. I think I have enough visual MJs now from different people. I had a bunch from one person. Actually, I had a bunch from two different people, but I just got a few more in from another guy, and I found a couple more the other day, like collection of sheds. So MJ hopefully will be going out within a week or two. Red Stripe's going out next week. Mandarin's going out next week. Heterotic Xanthic I got the primers in. I just got to run a couple tests, but that's been validated already.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Okay. I like it.
Good stuff, then.
HJS says, as far as I know, MJ and GCR are compatible, but not the same. What does that mean? How do we know?
MJ and GCR, I know at least one person has bred them to each other and have made visuals, but So that's why I have a shit ton of GCR sheds too. So I'm not going to sequence them together just in case it is like an Ultramel A and B thing. So then the data that comes back from that would kind of suck. I'd still probably get in the area, but I would rather start it off separate. If I could get enough MJ sheds,
Yeah.
I would send them out, whole genome sequence them, and then tested it, the GCR against that.
Has RGI done RCR and MJ?
I have no idea.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, TSK, I think I have too. That.
Do you mean Black Xanthic?
Yeah. I believe we have the casual mutation for that, but this needs a little more validation.
We were having a lovely, lovely home evening, and then this is what you decided to do.
I've been in a mood all week, my man.
I'm
You
not
don't
changing
even know.
labels. Everything's saying Black Xanthic.
I like it.
I'm gonna die on that hill.
All of my stuff got changed to Black Xanthic. I don't know what happened. It's weird. I walked in the building the other day, and these animals that used to be at TSK all of a sudden, like they just self-identified as Black Xanthic. And who am I to question what they identify as? You know, I'm not getting canceled here. Oh my God, I love it so much. All right. Somebody brought up fire. I know things are going smoothly with that, but no fire test yet.
Not at the moment.
Yeah, things are going smoothly. You're welcome for sending you some fire samples. You're welcome.
Fire and vanilla, they're all. We know what gene it's on. We're just trying to make sure we have the right location on that.
Chimera has TSK, right? Nora has Black Xanthic. Accurate.
I enjoyed that, yeah.
Accurate. I love that so much. That warms my heart. Oh, that's good.
Yes,
that is good. Yeah, Jeff. I once fire and vanilla are figured out, disco is going to be right there. Those are all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all right there together.
Fortunately, and for those when you have genes that are allelic, and especially they do very, very, very similar things, the likelihood that the mutation that causes it are all in the same gene or very close to each other is really high. And so once you find one, mutation in that family, finding the others is pretty quick generally. So like with fire, once fire is identified, vanilla, disco, is carbon in the fire family, Chase?
Yes.
Yeah, carbon will be another one. So stuff like that will all probably be pretty quick to fall. It was kind of like what happened.
Different than fire, like that won't make a super fire.
I don't know enough about carbon. I only know a few people that actually work with it.
I mean, we have one girl.
You have the one animal, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I mean, kind of the same thing happened, right, with the spider complex stuff. Once the first thing was found, the other stuff kind of.
They're literally like, some of them are literally like a nucleotide apart, like one nucleotide apart.
Oh,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Like they're two different exons, but a lot of them are on the same one, and they're like bam, 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 like right there.
Look at you using science words, Charlie. Not bad for a cop in a garage. Not bad. I like that. I like it when you talk dirty to me and exons and introns.
For the next episode he comes on, he's gonna have a white lab coat on. We both
Hey, I'll wear one of mine if you'll wear one of yours for a show. Do you have one?
Somebody mailed me one. I've never bought one.
Yes.
But somebody when I first started doing this as a joke sent me one.
I have one.
Say, if you don't have one,
we can take care of that. Yeah, I have one. I got one when I graduated. That was one of the lab I worked for. They bought me one. So it says Dr. McKnight. No big deal. Just to let those listening, I am a doctor. It's okay. Save your applause for the end.
I self-identify as a doctor, so like you said earlier, who are you to say I'm not a doctor?
Touche. No, and I'm okay with that. I think it's great. You sound more like a doctor than some of the other doctors I interact with, so I think it's fine, man. You're good. Oh, I love it.
I have a nice, beautiful new lab, though. I've spent a lot of money, and now I finally have a nice big room with all my shit in here. And
look at you.
Yeah, it's nice.
Look at you, kid. You're gonna make it. You've come a long way from those first messages of Ben and I going, "Who the fuck is using Hannah's tests?" This is good. This is good. You're doing it.
And I do have my Cordensis tree monitor here.
Nice.
In the lab.
Nice. That's good. That's good. Now soon you can sex test it and that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, I gotta look at that. See, time is the only thing that really, really hurts me. I have so much shit on my plate, like that. Like Jurgen in Europe's been working on that. Like we might have some sex tests already. That I've had the Colubrid sex test for months. I still don't offer it.
The struggle is real. The struggle is real, man. I love it.
Like, there's so much stuff that we have. The skinks, I'm pretty sure we might have the skink test for sex already.
Look at you.
But we just don't have time to like sit there and validate and do everything.
No, that's it, right? That's the problem. You only got so many hours in a day, and you know it's time and money. Those are the issues. All right, gently transitioning to something that both of you felt you were too good to show up for. The AARPE this weekend.
Yeah. You grace with your presence.
Absolutely, I did. I felt that somebody important in the industry needed to be there.
Well,
and that's why
wasn't Justin there?
No, Justin wasn't, but Leviathan was, so they took care of that role. So it was a fun show. I told Troy what I was going to say tonight, so what I say is not me bad mouthing. Is that I want that to be out there. The venue, get him on the phone right now. The venue was rough. There were just some issues with the venue. The AC wasn't really working, so it was like toasty as fuck. Ooh. The snakes loved it, but it was like 80 plus degrees in there. It was toasty. It wasn't the best venue in the world. I don't think they're going back there though because of that. The show itself was actually, there was about 6,000 people through the door, so a good turnout of foot traffic. It was a lot of pet people, which I don't know what was really expected. So most of the ball python people I talked to, it was everybody did about the same, which was like we all did okay. There were a couple of breeders that got slaughtered. That sucked. But I think Troy and Nick did what they needed to get people through the door, which is what's important here, right? Like at the end of the day, like they bring people to the show, and then it's our job to sell the animals. And I think being the first show in this area for them, it was also hard for a lot of the ball python breeders to know exactly what to bring, because obviously if you're showing up with $10,000+ snakes, you're not going to sell a lot. And so I think the people that had rough days were people that had stuff that was a little outside of the market for that show specifically. But it was a good time. I wish y'all could have been there. I know schedules just didn't work out, and it is what it is. We'll
all be at Tinley, right?
Yes.
We'll see. Maybe
they're not going.
Yeah. No, I'll be there.
No, he's going. I will stop by and pick him up if I have to. He's fucking going. Don't worry.
You know, I did have a moment where I was like, you know what? I'm not fucking going to Tinley. I'm over this shit. But you know what? I then realized they need to see me.
In your life, yeah.
Nothing. I have nothing, Charlie. Nothing.
You need to have Giordano's on Friday night, like always.
I don't. Chase, I love you. I don't think I'm going to be making it to that dinner.
You don't want to be there for that party?
The Asian place across the park.
Don't worry.
Lunch. That is
I'll be eating Jade's. I don't think I'm going to be making it to the annual Canova Chimera dinner.
Allegedly, I'm gonna drag you there.
Okay, we'll see. A little soon. I'm
Over there with a hood and sunglasses on in the corner. Yeah.
Just
hey, Chase, who's that guy you brought? It's kind of fucking shady.
As I'm gently crying.
Share a pizza with Molly. That's all she wants.
Molly made her choices. She wants to share pizza with Justin, not me.
There you go.
She's gonna sit over next to Justin and eat barbecue pineapple chicken pizza. It's gross.
Caviar.
And caviar. Aura's over here eating tuna fish. Canova's eating
Pepperoni.
caviar.
Patrick actually shows up with Papa John's to sit there next to us.
I could.
He's got cheesy
Molly,
bread from like.
Molly gives me a look and she's like, "This is why I left you."
Patrick brings in a $5 hot and ready for the season. Like, this is it. Happy Friday.
Not even the pepperoni version, the cheese version. Oh, I'm gonna cry. It all hurts.
This dish I can afford.
Oh my god. Remember, kids, don't do Molly.
It's all Molly's fault in the end.
You know, it really is. I am thankful for some of the interactions I've been able to share with the group text messages, though, where things just timed up perfectly for certain things. So it's been good. It's been good.
I have enjoyed it thoroughly. So don't worry, everyone. Patrick's making sure Molly gets roasted plenty still.
Oh, guys.
That's not ending.
No. I believe at one point Molly's like, "You have to be nice to me." And I was like, "Oh, honey, it just began." Like now there is no filter. See, that's the thing I think most people don't understand. There is still a filter here, guys. And when the filter comes off, things get real awkward. So it's good. Oh, there we go. Yes, Pinky's out. Hashtag don't do Molly. Thank you, Python Prince. I appreciate it. We'll put that towards my hot and ready pizza on Friday.
Man.
Oh, guys. Yeah, no, I am very excited about Tinley. It's going to be an absolute blast. People are going to be bringing some great animals. It's always good to see friends. Sometimes it's good to see Molly. And
do you guys have a booth? Does Chimera have a booth?
Chimera does have a booth. I will still be there as Chimera. I look forward to supporting Andre in that role. And
are you on Ball Python Row still with us?
Yeah, I am. So I'm going to be smashed right between JD Constriction and Mershon's Morphs.
Oh, just where you were last time.
Yeah, exact same space. Yeah. So Shelby is going to be there, right? I know he moved and some things, but I think Shelby will be there.
Possibly.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, awkward. We'll see. Let's see. Does Molly still have to call you doctor now that No, absolutely not. No. Molly
but
does
yes,
not.
It actually has to remain in her phone as doctor.
But actually, yeah. No. She can call me whatever she wants now. Turns out she's not financially obligated to call me anything anymore. It's fine. I'm not crying. You're crying. Yeah. So no, Tinley's gonna be great. Charlie, did you get a booth?
No.
What a bitch.
No, I had a couple people say that I could hop in their booths and set up, but I don't even want to. Like it's like I was in Dallas and I'm never at my fucking booth. Like,
yeah.
It's like I don't know. I like roaming around, and I'm like just I don't know. I like looking at everything too. Never mind talking to everybody. I'm like, I want to go and look and see what the hell cool shit is there.
Yeah, man, I'm in the same, but sorry, real fast. This actually happened. Nice. She called me Mr. McKnight and I said it's Dr. McKnight. It was a fun moment. Anyway, yeah, man, I'm with you. I struggle a lot with that. And that was one of the big benefits of having Andre, right? He gave me the freedom to go and wander the show, and we still had.
Did he really give you the freedom, or did you just take it upon yourself to wander the show?
He didn't yell at me about it, so I'm going to say he gave me the freedom. I kind of took it, but he didn't yell at me, so I think there was a nice give and take there, right? I would tell him like, "Hey, I got to go to the bathroom," and I would disappear for 3 hours, and he was like, "Did you survive?"
So you guys do what Justin and I do to each other.
Yes, exactly.
When you get the random text, "Did you fall in?"
Yeah, that's it, man.
Sure did.
That's it. Troy, you just got here, and we just said nothing but good things about your show. I talked about how great it was. So thank you for showing up. Don't
need
watch
to
the
highlight
replay.
Chris.
Rewind.
Oh, no, I missed it. This is what happens when you give women choices. Should have never let her out of the kitchen, Patrick.
She's been watching Snake Tubs the whole time.
We did initially hire her for that. And then you know what? She came to me and she said, Patrick, I have so much faith in Aura and I look forward to growing with it. And I want to have a bigger role in the company. And I said, okay. And then she said, I'm joining Justin's team. It's really awkward. So it went really well for me. Maybe that was that my mistake? I gave her like the belief that she could accomplish things.
She got cocky, didn't she?
She did. That's what it was. Good for her. You know what? Once again, I'm just happy that she's happy. Hopefully. So, yeah, that's it. Chris, thank you though for the super chat.
Thank you, Chris.
That money will go to me replacing the next, replacing Molly with the next Molly, which will be
like 10 Little Caesars tonight with super chats. You're having a pizza party, Laura.
Yes, we are. I need something to hide my tears in. Where are we? Oh, wandering. Yeah. So wandering the show. So I struggle with that a lot. I probably will have a table in the future at Tinley. But it is a struggle for me just because I'm like you, Charlie. I really feel like I do much better at those events, walking the show, talking to people, networking, shaking babies and kissing hands.
Yeah.
I think.
And then you feel bad like when people like go to your booth or like, and you're not there. Like I've been to Tinley next to Kevin at A Exotics and in Dallas as well. Luckily I talk to him all the time and he knows enough to how to answer questions from people. Or I'll just be talking to somebody and my phone will buzz and be like, hey, there's like 8 people here waiting to talk to you. Like, where are you? You haven't been here in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'll be back.
Somebody like lassoed, like at the last show, somebody lassoed my wife in because she was wearing a Chimera shirt. And she's like, no, don't talk to me about snakes. Patrick is the person you want to talk to. And they're like, yeah, but he's not around and you work for them, right? And she's like, well, I'm married to them, unfortunately, but I'll call Patrick. Like, you don't want to talk to me. It's like, well, sorry, that's on me. Yeah. I'm glad somebody got my shaking babies and kissing hands. I've said that a couple of times and no one chuckled at her.
I got it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I enjoyed it. I'm sorry I didn't.
No, it's fine. Charlie can't legally. He can't laugh. He can't laugh. Like it'll be a lawsuit. But Chase, what's your excuse?
It's late.
It is not that late yet. Okay, I'm still elderly. Yeah, I know. You know what? Hold on. Let me send a text message real fast. Let's see here. Do we think Molly's actually watching?
I say no. She's too sad to watch.
Charlie, you say that. She's actually, she made her own decisions and she's still upset about it, like she was fired or something.
I did tell her, I was like, when I hired you, I thought I was never going to be able to fire you. It's kind of just stuck with you for life. And then she's like, well, now that I left, you don't have to worry about firing me. I'm like, touche. How's Molly doing at Chimera? She's doing great. I don't think she's at Chimera. I'm pretty confident she's at Canova now.
If she is, then we need to know about it because she's knocking on a lot of doors then.
Well done for her. She's trying to get the best offer possible. She started with Aura and then she moved on to Canova. And now she's like, hey, Andre, what kind of offer do you have?
Troy, has she reached out to you yet? Just let us know.
She's going to be an
for everyone. She's like, yeah, no, I'm exclusive to you.
I know what it's like getting gut punched by the Patton family. Well done, Troy. Well done. Oh, I'm glad we could all laugh about this and talk to our therapist later. You know what? It's a nice turn of events when I'm not the bully. It's nice. It's rare, but you know what? We're gonna survive. We're gonna get through this. I no longer trust that family. You know what? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We'll get through it. All right, Charlie. So at Tinley, you're not going to have a booth. You're just going to be wandering. People can come talk to you. You're going to tell them cool stuff and be friendly, right?
I'm the most friendly person around.
Accurate. All right. Do you have any other news you want to share? We're getting close to the end.
No, like I said, there's a lot. I have a lot of, like, everybody's always asked me, like, oh, OD, I have OD data back. We have Monarch data back. That's been a pain in the ass. But I have a lot. It's just a matter of time to get everything, find it, and validate it.
Yeah, I got you.
It doesn't seem to be slowing down any. I thought last week, I was like, all right, it seems like there's a little bit of lull in the sheds coming in. And then, no, it just every day since I think I told you that it's slowing down, it has not been doing that. So
it's gotten worse.
Yeah. But
Troy, for $100 a shed test, he'll get it done for Tinley. I'll guarantee it. Good luck, Charlie.
What is Tinley? What do we got? How long do we got?
2 weeks, right? About 2 weeks.
Yeah. As long as I get them like the Monday before, you're good.
Yeah, perfect. All right, Charlie. As always, man. Thank you for coming on and talking.
You're super busy. We very much appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. You're crushing it, man.
Perfect show to be on because like it was 9:30 or 9:45. I was in my house and I'm like, oh, I gotta go up. My son's already passed out sleeping. My wife's like, I'm going to bed. I was like, all right, good.
Perfect.
Nobody's missing me.
Nobody misses you. That's it, man. I love it. But yeah, I really do appreciate it. It's going to be great. Love all the tests coming out. Love working with you on stuff and hanging out.
That's going out for sequencing too next week.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Guys,
good.
Chase, best way people can reach out to you.
JKRMGR on Instagram and Canova everywhere else.
How can they reach out to Molly?
You know what? Through you still.
Through me.
Everyone,
there it is.
Inquire through Aura.
Yeah, please inquire through Aura and I'll forward you to Molly.
Or just bully Molly to go back.
Yeah. You know what, guys? Please do that. Can we do that? I don't want to hire Molly away from Canova because that sounds expensive. But if you bully her enough and she chooses to come back, I might still be able to afford her. So, like, please work with me here on this. Charlie, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you, my man?
Shedtesting.com or Shed Testing on Instagram. Charlie@shedtesting.com, email. But, yeah.
All right. Wow.
Like everybody knows how to get hold of me because my phone hasn't stopped since I've been on this.
Perfect. Guys, Aura Reptiles, AURA Reptiles on every platform at this point. Please. No, AURA, not Rita Aura.
ARORA, right? All right, everybody. This is going well.
AIORU. Oira.
This is good, guys. Guys, go follow my Morph Market store. It has 4 followers and no animals in it. I need numbers.
For real,
I'm gonna start,
everybody, though.
Yeah,
Aura,
please help us out.
Everything.
Please and thank you. Seriously, I know I picked on Molly a lot tonight. I am happy for her. We are sad that she's not with the company anymore, and I know she's going to do great things over at Canova. So, on that note, guys, thank y'all so much. Chat, thank you for hanging out with us. Y'all been a blast. I hope Charlie answered all your questions, and if he didn't, hit him up. We love y'all. Next week, we're going to have Robin Merkland from Redline Shipping on. That'll be exciting.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And we'll go from there. Love you guys. Thank you so much. See y'all next week. Bye.